Forging a path where many dare to tread, nature's wrath is what lies ahead. Ground underfoot treacherous the skies, above thundery, but nothing can stop this voyage of discovery.
Has there ever been a car with bigger shoes to fill than the new Discovery? I don't think so, especially when you consider its ancestry. This is the launch of the all-new Land Rover Discovery. We're here in the UK where we've experienced just about all 4 seasons in a day. Maybe a good thing, because Land Rover claim this to be their most capable car ever. Gone are the big, blunt surfaces, and in their place, considerably more curvy affair. A bowed nose marks the changing of the guard when it comes to Land Rover design. The rear end of this car is still splitting opinion amongst colleagues, and it certainly is amongst you guys from looking at the comments. But having the registration shifted to one side is a nod towards discoveries of days gone by. I rather like the clean new design of this car, and it marks a modern Land Rover. The technology's always been there, and now the design reflects what's underneath. The revolution continues in here as you are bathed in high quality materials and modern design. To be honest, if you squinted a little bit, you'd almost be forgiven for thinking that you were in a Range Rover. The previous Discovery was far from a pauper's workhouse, but this is just on another level with wood trim and this nice stepped dashboard. You've got very high quality leathers and neat stitching. Front occupants sink into these supportive armchairs that are now heated, cooled and massaging. The quality of materials used is very high, with lots of glossy plastics and brushed aluminium. JLR's flagship InControl Pro touchscreen infotainment display takes centre stage. There are 1,000,001 secret cubby holes in this car, meaning the family has plenty of place to store all their gubbins. Speaking of family, the second row isn't any less well appointed, with those seats being heated also, loads of leg and headroom for all 3 of those occupants. Our test car has been specified with the dual glass panoramic roof, meaning the interior is quite light and airy. No one draws the short straw anymore for the rearmost seats, as they'll happily seat adults and are also heated. Now, whilst this Discovery marks the departure of the much-loved split folding tailgate, there is now a new ledge that folds out in its place that serves the same purpose. All of the seats are now electrically operated, meaning it's less faff whenever you need to configure the seats for something heavy that you may have in your arms. Also, this can be done from a smartphone app, meaning that you can have the car set up the way you need it long before you even get to the point of opening the boot.
Boot space with 7 seats is 258 litres, with 5 seats 629, or fold them all flat for 2,406 litres.
This car, equipped with Wi-Fi, rear-mounted media systems and more charging points than you can shake a stick at, will prevent the kids from screaming, "Are we nearly there yet?" In fact, they may even be asking for you to take the longer way. Optioned on this Discovery is the 3-litre diesel engine, producing a healthy 258 horsepower and a huge 600 newton meters of torque. And it's that torque that means that this car never feels like it's short of puff. In fact, a twitch of your right foot will have you dispensing of any dawdlers you come across, be it on the motorway or otherwise. The driving experience overall is one of opulence and luxury, it has to be said. The chassis is particularly talented at soaking up the lumps and bumps of our British roads. There is some leaning in the corners, as you expect from a tall vehicle, but generally speaking it feels sure-footed in all weather conditions. High-frequency bumps do sometimes lead to a slight seesawing motion in the car. That's maybe to be expected with the softer suspension setup. The engine itself is very quiet, emitting very little noise at all, and only really making itself known under hard acceleration, and even then it's only a slight murmur. Control weightings are nice and light, which is ideal for driving this large vehicle through urban environments. It often actually leads you to forget how big it is. It's quite a talent for a large car to feel smaller. Visibility is very good all the way around, and that doesn't even include the array of cameras that you have available to you. The 8-speed automatic transmission you find in many JLR products is once again stellar, seamlessly shifting between ratios when left to its own devices in automatic mode, but also very responsive when called upon via these wheel-mounted paddles. Though I will say these plastic paddles do contrast the high-quality materials found elsewhere in the interior. Clearly this new Land Rover Discovery has moved the game on-road. But what about off-road? Because it has to be able to handle the rough stuff too to earn its Land Rover badge.
Switching into a black Discovery, it was time to test this car's mettle. Land Rover has a strong heritage off-road, and it's important for this new Discovery to meet expectations. Terrain Response 2 makes short work of just about any terrain, and its new auto mode will certainly help novices. Low traction launch and a 900mm wading depth should mean that there's few obstacles that you can't overcome. Whilst the new Disco deals with the very worst that Mother Nature can throw at it, you're safe and warm in your leather-bound fortress.
This new car even has something called Elegant Arrival, which will lower the ride height to help ease ingress and egress. Back on tarmac, Land Rover claimed that the new Land Rover Discovery emits 189 grams per kilometre of CO2 and will achieve 39 mpg combined. For the 5th consecutive time, Land Rover have knocked the ball out of the park with their Discovery product, and that's not down to luck. They really do know what they're doing in producing some of the most capable vehicles both on and off of the road. In some of the most far-flung parts of the world, a Land Rover was the first vehicle they ever saw. This new car had quite a job to live up to its name, but I think Land Rover can be very proud in the fact that this car joins its ancestors with distinction. If you fancy having the new Land Rover Discovery on your driveway, it starts from £43,495.
Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments below. Please subscribe for all of the latest and greatest cars to hit the road. For breaking news and written reviews, visit www.insidelane.co.uk.